away from that. Also, not saying Aslan isn't worthy of playing the Jet, but here I think because it was so prominent on Bind, this is going to feel a little bit uncomfortable for me. Liquid, as we've already said, I mean, Soulcast, this is almost back to the OG days, right? This is definitely a comfort pick for him. I think actually comp-wise, Liquid probably take it here. But anything's possible, right? I mean, of course. We remain open-minded. Big, I don't want to say their map record on Split littered with overtimes. Just putting that one out there. Shut up. Just
shut up, Mike. We're underway, and just knocks the wind out of you. As I'm going to find one, and that's the beginning you want to be seeing. If we want to look at this player critically, we have to say he has to hit towards that, top end of what Twiston was doing. That's the start, but that's an answer. Yambi with a quick 2, going to find Opbox and Twiston, and now down to the 3v3. The site is Liquid, but the rest of the group is coming on over, but it's just got B. Beautiful. And Liquid, that burst potential. Oh, Yambi. Yambi? Oh.
Gonna need the gif of that one, production.
Can we hey
whoever, roll the replay of that?
Can we just zoom it in just on that?
I know we're recording player pops, so if we could just
now I like go. That's better. Okay, good. Yes, frags are enjoyable, but eyes to the bottom left. Eyes to the bottom left. You have to wait a little bit longer. Hold on, Gobby's gonna die, and watch. I think it's a let's go, and then what was it? Do you think you can do the noise at all?
No.
Okay. Anyway, Navera. This. Yeah. So just briefly, while we're in a round where there's classics and frenzies, unless they do. Ooh, hold on, Twiston's up to some nonsense. Yeah, he's up to some nonsense. Doesn't get much for it. Team Liquid. I know you're watching Social Team. You're probably recording everything. Oh, hold. Link still checks. Give me the audio for that. All right. Thank you. Anyway, clean round. No worries. That's great. You love it. You love to see it, but there was no real buy for Big.
Probably the cleanest round 2 we've seen today, to be honest with you, Lauren. That was
out of all the games.
A real anomaly, actually, by today's standard.
I can't say that word.
Anomaly.
I can't say it quickly.
I definitely can't say it as part of a sentence.
You can't say it quickly and briefly?
No. Mitch is pretty good at that, though.
He's very good at that. Good old Mitch. How's he doing?
I miss him.
Oh, tell me all. Soulcast, though, player to watch for me. This guy's
change from Liquid already.
100%. And again, just the storyline of Soulcast to me is always something I'll enjoy, right? This redemption arc of this player. Ooh. Well, overall, obviously, not in that round.
Timed like a true caster right there.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to be here. Having a great time. But generally, I've loved his kind of back to glory, right? He's found form and he's found his way, and he looks just, reinvigorated, whole new player. And he has for some time, so it's good to witness that firsthand. However, obviously shut down this round, trying to take some space up towards heaven, playing up towards, ramp and doing what he can. However, there are players now behind where he stepped. There are now 2 on the other side, though, who are waiting to receive this.
Aslan will actually get stunned up. Twisting with a little one-way here to work off of. Big damage coming through. Link will fall initially. Aslan finds his 3rd. Formality at this point. Just one left to find. And scream with a ghost.
What's that?
A Spectre. Well, you're not listening.
Sorry.
You're not listening.
Ghosts and Spectres are quite similar, so.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. There. It's been. I haven't casted Valorant in a while, so brains. It's building, working on it. Anyway, it's done. Big answer back. What's going on? Right, we had 2 rounds that have gone the way they should. I feel weird.
It makes me very apprehensive for how this.
I'm uncomfortable.
Left the spike and spawn. Good.
Thanks,
free cam operator. Thank you.
That goes there.
Thanks, Scream.
He's got it. Look. He hits the headshots, all right? Don't worry about Scream. He's fine. He's got the spike. He had the spike. He's dropped it. It's fine. We go. You heard the ult get popped. We'll see if they go for some early information. So Aslan going to be clearing over by ramp. He's going to be looking at on the other side. It would be Navera, who's been Been caught once on that, but we'll see how he holds on. Again, no real rush here for the Liquid side.
God be just playing ready for this fault line. You see the gravity, well, at least a actually utility set up for a gravity well there, but they will opt to just pop the wall down. Try and slow things down a little bit here. Liquid. A pause for thought here, but look where Soulcast has managed to get his way into.
How? And what do you do with this now? Because that's maybe a card you didn't expect to have potentially at hand, right? Can we pull a rotation, see if he can maybe punish someone trying to lean through ropes? I have to have a look, because he's going to be way ahead of the curve. You can see them considering that someone could have crept middle. That's maybe something that is going to be kept in mind, but in practically what do you do with it? Now there's the presence noted. Now they're going to have to be aware of there is a chance Oz made it through, but Oz with a quick catch towards Yampy. That's massive. Denies that spiraling. But again, we're down to 30 seconds here, and look at the progress. Yes, Soulcast had a good position, but now what can they do with this? And the lean, actually, from Aslan is going to be a problem because Soulcast is here so early. Gun out. He might be caught here. He gets to keep his life. He's a lucky boy today, but there's still Twisted on the site. 13 seconds ago to make the hit. And Link deletes him. Screams found Obnox. And Aslan, desperate to be irrelevant, but 5 seconds. Where's the spike? It needs to go down. It is right down to the wire for this plant. Just about gets it done. And his gob left in a 1v2. Link is low HP. He's tucked to the back of the site. But Scream being a problem to deal with, Gobby knows he's got to clear this. And now there's the player watching the side. Nice little post-plant crossfire. And Liquid get away with it. But that was a very dangerous round. Down to what? Like a second to spare on that plant.
It was. And it's actually really unlucky Twiston doesn't find that kill on the back of the trap wire. Desperately spamming in. I think it actually was Link that took the majority of the damage there. Yeah, Big will be able to get everything they need. I'm just looking at any gaps in utility here, but the wall's there. Light armor for Obnox, but crucial piece of the puzzle on split. Could have will spread pretty thin once again.
Scream, what are you up to?
Man.
Gun out. It's caught. Punished. Well, that's a player advantage as quick as you like, but there's a quick split up middle as well, but Navera's been beheaded. Twiston looking a little different today, so not too surprising. This progress has been read. There's 2 players up towards the other side of this who are waiting, very aware of someone potentially being behind this wall. And as much as, yes, Yampy shows a little bit of presence, actually Link to get the punish cast for this one flip, but he does get caught in the end by Soulcast, turns around. Obnox still towards the back of the site. He's going to be a nuisance to clear, but he's still holding himself at least safe for now. Gobby finds him. Obnox gets Yampy. And they just about get caught at the end of that, but it got dangerous again. These rounds feel very, very precarious in either way.
They do need a team seemingly fair. I mean, I was going to almost criticize some of the utility usage from Big previously, where it was almost invested with, I don't want to say a lack of intent, but on the back of no information, right? And it ended up being, I remember it was Yampy caught by Obnox, if I'm not mistaken, just after kind of that utility's invested, and Liquid looked to readdress mid, but I don't feel as if Big are particularly comfortable just yet with some of these setups.
No.
And likewise, Liquid, I don't know what happened to the round 1 and 2 pace that we had, but things have slowed down now, and that doesn't seem to have suited them either. No stopper 1 away here. Nothing else for Liquid to really make use of here, but if Soulcast finds a pick, Aslan goes hunting.
Oofed. Oofed. Gobby's got his cross at least, and actually Aggressive is closer. That's you're playing a dangerous game here. Yes, there are just odds and ends, but it only takes 1 to spiral, but some good chip damage done. I think it's pretty much unconfirmed, though. I don't think they know that Navera and Yampy are that low. Spraying in, does find Yampy, and it's Navera and Link, the last 2 standing, but they've lost all map control. And as you can see, Twiston is closing that gap. Oh, Twiston, that's so ratty.
Yeah, it is.
You're just going to sit there. I double dare you just to sit. The maps never look smaller for Liquid. Opening up at least a pathway. Taking down Obnox, 30 seconds. Still 4 players standing here. And Twiston is, the net is closing in. And there's 1. Swapped out the second. There it is. Good work in the end from Twiston. Not overdoing things, taking his time. And Big get on the board, 3 to 3.
I just spied it. Twiston's
spot?
got a shorty in the back pocket. No matter what agent he's on, he's always got a shorty in the back pocket.
He's ready.
Yeah.
Right.
Expect him to be sat inside a cage at some point. And it will stop Liquid from pushing onto a site.
Oh. Well, that's something to look forward to.
Liquid will lean pretty heavily towards B this time around. First time we've actually seen them revert away from more traditional default. MP on a Guardian. Actually, ooh. Flash away big from mid, but that's on the back of it. It means acend can just post back up here. Yeah, I like this smoke as well, actually, to prevent any flash coming through or make it a little bit more difficult to flash mid.
That is quite nice. All of this for this mid fight. Almost got to be careful to not get caught as fading away. Liquid will now at least start building their attempt in towards getting middle control. Oh.
Starzo somewhere is happy to see this employed.
Oh, the scenes.
I hate it.
Oh,
yeah.
There's a player there.
There's one in mail, by the way, guys.
Just so you know. Do you want to stick around for a second, maybe? Always thinking about it.
30 seconds left.
Does Soulcast have an idea that that gap could exist? I'm kind of curious. I'm curious.
He's going to get aftershock now, surely. Nope, they're just going to swing on him.
There it is. Okay. So, well, isolated and removed. Soulcast gone. 15 seconds.
Nice Scream.
Scream's dead. Scream is dead and buried. Big and looking large and in charge here. They're actually really keeping control of these rounds. Yampy blinded. Yeah, Link's done well here, but it is just going to be a Link up against two. Both towards CT. You'd have to somehow magically close the gap. And there indeed was that shorty waiting.
Yeah, it's spike unretrievable, so the clock will decide this one's big. Actually take the lead here, and you're right, this has been probably one of the more solid setups we've seen for big. Initially that exploration towards mid, then they revert back to Mayo. I guess the second step in that process is that wall that we did see Obnox invest. Liquid actually going to call a timeout here because, yeah, I mean, feels as if they've kind of been shut out from a couple of these rounds with no real response or an attempt at a response, to be honest. Big kind of just going through the motions.
And for me, I'm quite happy to see it, right? Like, it's very easy to get pretty deflated after a loss like they just had. It's very easy to lose a little bit of that confidence behind you, a little bit of loss of faith in the plan. But quite happy to be seeing them bound back quite nicely and looking solid in how they're approaching it. We look at this and let's say we look at it from a big perspective of, if you want, you know, the rose-tinted glasses coming on. Okay, the 3 rounds that Liquid have, I mean, looking at where they fell, pistol round following in, they're not even the real gun rounds coming through. So you're pretty happy if you're a big fan because you're looking at this. Okay, well, when it gets down to the meat of things, you'll be having a great time.
Sheriffs to try and back up that Phantom in the hands of Link. Again, 4 outside B main here. Aslan still riding through this Guardian as well.
All right, Casper, you get to keep your life. Oh, it's probably going to be a no. He's still got Soulcast. It was Link who got him in the end. Gobby now going to try and play by the pillar. Aslan going to try and come over to support. There's that rifle you were talking about. Link could impact, but it's an instantaneous trade and it's far more effective for Big. They didn't quite get the start they wanted, but Navera, can you dissuade any of this narrative from coming true for Big? It's a 1v2, and man, this guy is going to have to be on his toes if he wants to be as likely as ever in this 1 minute. Still a lot of time to play with, and he does pop the ult. 6 bullets left in the mag. It's the reload. Spots one. Gets one. Oh, the trade. Twiston. Safe pair of hands at the end, but man, that got down to the wire.
So I'm not entirely sure what happened with that boom bot, but it literally zoomed out of B main there. It was on backside in like literally the blink of an eye. And then still...
You got that turbo.
Still, Casper found that kill.
I'm amazed he was still able to do that, if I'm honest.
Enemy remaining. Spike down B.
Again, just the utility usage from God. But yeah, it's not necessarily finding kills consistently, but again, the aftershock in that scenario forces them out from pillar. They have no comfort. Even though that wall is invested to allow safe passage towards site, there's no comfort whatsoever for Liquid to get set up.
Aslan
Tanks it.
soaks.
Just tanks it.
Oh, now he has to respect it. But I think to anyone who's watched Godby's career, you know, from start to now, over previous titles, hearing that he's good with utility, least surprising headline. Yeah. I mean, the guy is fantastic at it. It's nice to see someone with that full understanding of kind of cause and effect, right? And working with it. But again, not necessarily your headline superstar, never will be really in that regard. He's not your mechanical genius like that, but he is very solid and he's transferred through well enough for now. But again, Soulcast found that little bit of room to work with previously. And it looks like he's found it again, but however, this time he's brought some backup with him. Crunch towards that A site. We do see Big Boss Twiston, though, still very much ever present and Godby by his side, so a bit of a dangerous combination. You can see the issues they're already having. Utility galore, but actually it's Scream to punish Obnox, trying to get ahead and maybe join the rest, but Pillar is not safe anymore as Soulcast to press the corner, punishes Twiston, and actually expected one towards the back of the side, but no, Godby double stacked towards the Pillar and does get Soulcast, expecting more, but he's lost the timing. Now there's plenty on the side, still going to take Navarro with him, as Casper going to try and pick up the mantle. Spike going down, can he catch one? Oh, he just let the bullet slip a little too early. And now on the way out, Aslan gets caught, and Liquid finally pull off a bit of a sight hit that actually looked quite diligent. Dangerous, but diligent.
I mean, honestly, I glanced back to the top of the screen, and I'm like, it's actually still 5-4.
Yep.
What is going on? Yampy actually going to pick up the operator. Just another Yampy thing. Just add it to the list. The attacking breach operator. Oh, is it that time? I think I've got everything, by the way, except for the base on which it looks like they're going to try and retrieve the orb. They know that it's going to be Navarro on the other side. It's going to be the lighter side of this Liquid default. They do. Now they've got everything to work with. Did they actually force the issue here onto Navarro?
Looks like they want to, but speaking of forcing the issue, Soulcast going to punish up towards the top over by B, and they're going to take the site. Not necessarily for free, but they've taken it pretty quickly. Twiston's managed to actually fill the gap in a really interesting bit of timing. I wonder if they still check. They do, but he is hinged. What a belting shot on Yampy, and they want to close that gap now. What a time to play back in. Soulcast and Navarro thought they had a little bit of maybe a room to breathe, but nothing.
Wait, he did.
He got him. Okay. Soulcast though still deadly. Shot and a half. Investment's gorgeous. Soulcast, can you do a tap?
No way! No
Soulcast!
way!
Absolute fiend. How did he get it?
The blast pack just throwing Godby off.
Show me that again. Show me it again. Oh.
Last player standing.
Look at that. It's beautiful. He turns for the flash. He eats the fault line, and he still finds every single kill.
Beautiful. Wow, what a game we've had. We've had Twiston, highlight player for me, genuinely highlight player throughout this entire series. And then you're on the other side, like to me then, Soulcast, that is the primo reason why we love seeing Soulcast in these positions to pop off. It's so enjoyable. Quick punish on the aggression. Looked like Liquid have read that quite well.
We'll find another as well.
One enemy remaining.
Last one to find's got beat. Yeah, consolation, nope. Flawless round for Liquid in round 11. If they can close this out 7-5, which, like I said, will feel like a miracle, considering this has felt like an uphill struggle for Liquid, and they're still coming out on the half on top.
One enemy remaining.
See here what? Well,
I can't believe the scoreline. It felt
I actually can't. I really can't. I think it was round 6 or 7 where I looked up. I was like, wait, hang on a minute.
How?
How?
Liquid are clawing back into this one because, by all accounts, I think if you're a reasonable person, which obviously everyone watching is, you'd say Big have looked across the board a little bit stronger as a collective, right? You're like, okay, yeah, the pistol round went to Liquid. You kind of throw in a couple of the other rounds. You're like, oh, wait, they're actually sitting with the advantage. Obviously, yeah, we just saw Soulcast have an absolute ripper of a round, but I just can't believe that we're sitting at 5-6. But away we go. Twiston this time going to commit towards that B side, but it is the beautiful... It was a beautiful fake, and it's just getting better. Soulcast is a one-man army, and there it is. There's the horrible surprise that Big just didn't want to have happen. One, you lose out on a player on the fake side of things, on the side that's not meant to have much behind it, but they've even filled the void of that middle presence as well. Keep your eyes on the likes of Yampy. He's going to be lurking through middle. They have no access to this. This is one of the most beautiful fakes I think I've seen in a long time. And it's not easy to trick someone like Gob or any of these players on that big side. Like, this isn't just a team of no ones. These guys are your cerebral players at times. Like, you know, to be able to pull off the perfect fake like that, very impressive.
What a way to close out the half.
Wow.
Honestly. I mean, Liquid come into this stride, and now it's definitely a more comfortable end than what happened on Buying, because, yes, it was 9-3, but towards the end of it, the cracks were starting to show. This one, a stark contrast for me. Another flawless round, actually, to close it out. But we know what Big are capable of when they're staring down a deficit.
And attacking sides, right? Just avoid Link if he has a judge?
Yeah, don't go near Mail, I guess, would be the...
That's the...
Yeah.
the follow-on. All right. We'll see.
What's invested there, actually? Off the rip from Liquid. Doesn't find them any damage or any information, actually. Twiston already got himself up pretty deep on ramp. Oh, and the timing's awkward. Opposite Yampy. We'll note the trap wire as well.
Okay. Keep in mind the cam position, though. They're aware of what's coming around their way. If they do commit, at least, should I say, towards Male and up towards Heaven. There it is, waiting to greet.
They're going to stun and gravity well off this, I think.
Okay, there's the facts being found. Don't want to give away too much. Scream now should be aware of what's happening. And there it is, going to isolate one. Not free enough for Scream.
Acend actually ate the back end of the paint show as well.
Surprising he's alive, but he is still standing. But 30 seconds now, this B crunch is coming in, whether they like it or not, and they've won the fight that actually could be the instigator. The Scream goes down, the wall goes up, Yampy now denied. It's going to be Soulcast all on his lonesome, surrounded by so many players. If he does anything with this, it'd be impressive. He can't quite find it, and sometimes the ghosts do be like that.
Oof.
Spike planted.
Basically. I mean, it's tough.
I've seen your ghosts.
Yeah,
all
it's
right.
clean. Crisp. Flawless, some would say.
Crazy. That's crazy. I've never heard that. However, I have heard that Link has got at least a start in this round on the way back in, but Big in the post plant looking quite tasty. Navera's actually found Casper. What is happening? How is this happening? Okay, Gob's still alive. He's still not going to let this one go. Surely they don't let this go. Gob is now having to put all of this side on his back. How has this happened? Again, so many of these ratty rounds. Liquid are like, oh, we shouldn't win this. There's 5 of them in a post plant. Be right back.
That was a 3v5 with Gob B playing main with the aftershock.
There's so much.
That's a fumble. That is a catastrophic fumble, actually.
God damn, that is rough. And hey, I guess credit to Liquid for converting it, but you do have to look to Big as, okay, you don't normally... Teams don't really win like 2v5s, 3v5s. You lose a 5v3, right? It's kind of the blame falls to you in that regard. However, Yampy off to a pretty solid start there. Just going to get everything building in his favor. Probably frustration for Big starting to show here. But again, rifle rounds, everything can change. But for now, it's a slaughter. Everyone locked on in, and well, the only difference could be maybe Obnox catching someone, but it seems they're all very aware. Nice punish on Yampy. Suddenly attention turns. Oh, Aslan, that's a big boy shot coming out. And now a 2v2. It's become, again, hey, Mike, welcome back to the game that I expected.
Yeah.
Here it is. There it is.
Back on bind somehow.
It's crazy how we've done that. I didn't realize there was a TP.
Fantastic round 2. Add it to the list for today's round 2s. This one.
Yeah? Would you like to do like a death segment on them?
Actually, that's not, because Liquid surely win this round, right?
Surely.
Nivera's got the information early enough off the spy cam. There's a trap wire to slow things down. Should be able to get close enough where they're not going to be able to buy too much time with the spike plant. Surely they don't split up, right? Not in a 2v2, Lauren. No,
you probably
way.
wouldn't do that, right?
30 seconds left.
Mike, are you okay?
No, I'm not.
Okay, well, your well-being will be defined by the outcome of this round, and that's a headshot. Nivera is the walking wounded. Scream, can you save them?
Enemy remaining.
That's one. Needs to find the second. Aslan now has attention split, but Scream is caught. Oh!
Yeah, Liquid. They always win those. Yeah. Scream just running up ramp with his heel out. Honestly.
Yeah?
Today is not a montage day. It is not a montage day.
No. No. It's when we just post like the, you know, player standing there doing like a thumbs up or something on Twitter with the scoreline. Why is everyone side doing that, by the way? I saw like Astralis start doing it and I thought it was really weird. And now everyone does it. Like they're like, hey, we won, you know.
Meta.
Or like meta. I'm just, yeah. Ah. Oh. Well. This game's really bizarre.
Yeah. Liquid, 3 sheriffs, 2 specters. Try and close out this bonus round. Again, does suit them more so. Especially if they can keep the economy honest here. Actually, Godby does have the Rolling Thunder online. Pretty early on there. Lots of utility invested to clear out mail as well, but Liquid posted up deep enough here where it's not going to really make too much of a difference.
I would say I get a little nervous if I see it going late, but I don't mind if they've taken this time to at least prop up Aslan towards top mid, then look back to that A site. And Nivera just found Twiston, which could actually be an issue considering they looked like they wanted to lean this way.
They're here pretty
Yampy
quick
now.
behind it as well.
Yeah, but they just don't seem to be bothered that Yampy could be peeking. It's a little bit of shoulder peek back. He knows now what's going on. There it is. Aslan
Backstab.
forced to show his hand, though. Has to get involved, otherwise that could have gone wrong. Nivera playing on the other side of this. Wall goes up. He's going to find the player. Sprays in for another. Can't quite get it. God B does quell the threat, but it's 24 seconds. And there's still Scream. He's still waiting. Does he try and clear the site here?
Spike planted.
Oh, he's going to be heating him up. Oh, another player spotted up towards the rafters as well. Tries to connect the shot he needs. Soulcast does it. And now Casper, the 1v3. Can't get it. Soulcast lands the shot. And
That's
Liquid
huge.
make it to 10.
Massive bonus round from Liquid. Find double digits. Completely reset the economy of Big as well. And the Rolling Thunder gets invested. Aslan one off the blades, actually. But I mean, the money not looking as bad as I thought. I don't know if...
I thought it was going to be really quite a
I mean, it's light armors and rifles. I have to take another look at the utility, but...
One enemy remaining.
I don't know if this is a full-on force, call it, but... that will depend on the utility behind the purchase. Seems to be the longest replay I've ever seen. Yeah, I mean, there's gaps. There's definitely gaps here. Godby,
Yeah.
I don't think used much because it was only the Rolling Thunder really sent in the aftershock in the early round. So, of course, there's nothing left behind this. So look at it, nothing at all. And this will be Liquid finding 11, and they find
They've
an
gone
opener.
aggressive.
And it's Casper that falls.
And they've already got the swing. They're already stepping out towards the B site. Just kind of walking their way back in, catching them as they try and make their play through middle. They now know the full idea as to what Big was up to. Oh, bigger in a real spot of bother here. They've lost all idea of map control. They don't know where these players are. They just lost Twiston over the backside of main. Goblin Obnox, what are you going to try and fight your way back in? That's not bad. Link is just underneath them. And you can see now God be the last one alive in a 1v4, 15 HP. Can at least punish Link. Confirms position. Soulcast is there. Man, Liquid, sometimes they just flip a switch and it starts looking almost impossible to approach. But Big, this game has been pretty heartbreaking for them. I know we kind of talk about Liquid as being the ones, you know, if you're a fan of them, you're kind of used to it, right? The highs and lows of being a Liquid fan. But for Big, it felt like, again, so map 1, you've got to feel like that could have been their win, right?
Oh,
like
absolutely.
you replay
I
that.
thought they deserved it.
I'm in agreement. Here, I felt this was a closer game than the scoreline entails. Now, this half is a bit different. I do want to characterize that, but at least on the first half, I mean, it's credit, I guess, to Liquid to an extent that they're able to, you know, convincingly pull the scoreline away at this point. But man, for Big, it felt they were just on the cusp for so many of these rounds.
Here.
I think as well, you look back at the last month or so, and it's been on a good trajectory now. Yampy's doing dirty things. Yep. Doing his
Yampy
best
time.
Link impression.
And Yampy, not going to particularly stop, is he? No, he's jumping at you with a judge.
Yes.
And Big just look a bit broken in this round. I don't think there's going to be too much to really make note of. And that's all not can really pop off not to be. Only one player lost. 12 for Liquid, and now it's everything you got, Big. You got to put it out now, right? Like this is the round to try and do something with. You got a couple of ults to work with. Casper not far off. There's a chance. There's something here to be worked with, Mike. But again, I feel like this has been a soul-crushing map too.
It really has. Liquid have barely missed a beat on the second half. I mean, initially, the only you could say really is the fumble early on in the pistol round, but they flipped a 3v5 retake. So,
Yeah.
really, did you take anything away from them? No.
No, absolutely not. We go again. And this is Liquid can do whatever they want. That's the scary part. They have complete freedom if they want to be aggressive somewhere. And speaking of, there's Soulcast. Yeah, he gets caught. I think he went, oh no, someone was behind me. However, that'll at least be a little bit of an indicator. Maybe there's a bit of a window here for Big. But if they do want to cancel this A plan and maybe head back towards that B site, it will take time. Maybe depending a little bit on Casper here to make a bit of progress. There is a player on the other side, that being Yampy. Still with the judge, of course. And Link has read this very well. Now, will they check? It looks like acend will. Goes down. Trade comes out. This is still Liquid trying to be ratty here. They're still trying to find every little angle they can.
I know exactly.
Oh, Thunder going to get posted to towards mid here. Casper actually
Nice.
with the backstab.
Very nice. Scream and Navera. The brothers
Where is everything?
gonna do what they can. It's one. And now they need 4 more. Scream making it through towards kind of CT, almost side by side. Wall goes up.
30 seconds left.
I mean, they
Killing
can
the
play for
res?
this.
Maybe.
Maybe. But how much of a chance are you going to have to get a res coming through at this point? You can see Aslan's position is hard to handle. Checked on.
Yeah.
Dealt with. Navera goes down. And no movement from Scream. Holding for now. Spots one.
Cool.
And now position noted. You shouldn't be able to get anything out of this, really, even though it is Scream. You have too many targets, too many players. Still
And the
does
headshot,
damage.
though.
Of course he does. The edge shot machine. But again, it's a lifeline for Big and a necessary one. It wasn't a particularly pretty round. Yes, you could say that was off the back of Soulcast being almost over-aggressive, but I don't mind them trying that.
Yeah, I did notice a couple of funds running low on Liquid, but I mean, the full purchase comes through here. 3,700 on Navera, 4,800 on Soulcast. Ultimate's a little further away than you'd like to be, but I mean, if it comes to it, there's a snowball round somewhere in the distant future. Still, there's another 2 rounds I'm looking for. Clean victories from Big before they really reduce the funds on the side of Liquid.
Mid lane's scary because you've now got a crossfire on it. Scream sprays in, gets one. Yampy finds
for a
Obnox.
second.
Yeah, this is mid's just been shut for business. Signs up. Not today, boys. And now they're down to 3. You've got Gobby, Casper, and Twiston. Now, I guess you look at it. Still got Twiston, who, you know, if he just goes full fragger mode, all right, fair enough. Game back on. Casper can still facilitate something, but information. It's been relayed again. Oh, dear. and they're going to just feel so countered, so red, unless Casper can maybe be a problem. No, of course not. They're walking, go, gosh, Scream's really sharp today, but he's been fed all that information. Everything's been noted, and Twiston, your last man standing, 33 HP in a dream. He's got so many players to play against. Rez comes in, and they're hunting him down, and why not? The spray is good for one, but it ain't good enough for the game. It's 13-6. Team Liquid smash that second half. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, what a way to close out this series. Map 1, turbulent, I think is appropriate for the way to describe it. But here, yeah, I mean, they close out their attacking half, which, like I said, felt a lot closer than ended up being a lot closer than it felt throughout the majority of those rounds. But yeah, I mean, once they got into their comfort pick, some of these setups from Liquid on defense are just disgusting. Again, just it comes down to big, slow, methodical pace there. Doesn't really suit them because Liquid have, the initial first point of contact setup, then they have the second, and then they have the fault line reset. And there's so many different things to overcome there. So they absolutely stood out on defense.
Yeah, and it's also been quite an enjoyable game from map 1 to map 2. It's had its highs and lows for sure, but I do want to talk about the player that stood out to you guys the most. You guys at home, obviously, let your thoughts be known with your player of the match. You've got a couple of options. Link, integral in map 1, changed. I mean, I kind of want to, but then you got Soulcast and Scream as well. I think Soulcast, great impact in map 2. It's very hard to define, and Scream's always an all-rounder, right? Who would you vote for?
This one for me, Soulcast. I'll give it to him. He threw the neon out on map 1.
It looked better. I think it looked better.
It definitely looked better. So yeah, Soulcast takes it for me today.
All right. Well, I think that's us pretty much done. We're going to head out of here, but we're going to leave you back with the desk after this break.